It was raining hard that night, the kind of rain that makes the whole city feel tired and heavy. Jake Turner didn't know it yet, but one small decision, one simple act of kindness was about to change his life in a way he never saw coming. Sometimes kindness doesn't arrive with applause or bright lights. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in a dark parking lot, when someone chooses to help instead of turning away. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional, inspiring stories like this, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps the soulful stories reach more hearts just like yours. Jake Turner was a single dad of a 10-year-old girl named Lily. Since his wife passed away 3 years earlier, life had been a careful balancing act. Mornings started early with packing lunches and tying shoelaces. Nights ended late after finishing freelance driving shifts to cover bills. Jake worked as a contract driver for a luxury car service, mostly for corporate clients. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough to keep their small apartment warm and Lily smiling. That night, Jake was called to pick up a last-minute client from a downtown corporate gala. The name on the app made him pause: Evelyn Cross. Everyone in the city knew that name. She was the CEO of Cross Tech Solutions, one of the most powerful tech companies in the region. Newspapers called her brilliant, fearless, and ice-cold. Jake had seen her face on magazine covers, always serious, always perfect. When he arrived, Evelyn was standing alone near the curb, heels in her hand, rain soaking her designer dress. She didn't look powerful at all. She looked lost. As she got into the back seat, Jake noticed her hands trembling. The faint smell of alcohol filled the car. She gave him the address, slurring slightly, then leaned her head against the window without another word. Jake could have reported her. Company policy allowed drivers to refuse service. But something about her silence, about the way her shoulders sagged, made him choose kindness instead. The drive was quiet except for the rain. Halfway through, Evelyn spoke softly. "Do you ever feel like you have everything and nothing at the same time?" Jake didn't look back at her, but he answered honestly. "Every day." That surprised her. She laughed weakly, then went quiet again. When they reached her house, a massive modern place with glass walls and bright security lights, Evelyn struggled to stand. Jake parked and quickly got out, offering his arm. She hesitated, pride flashing in her eyes, then accepted. At the door, she turned to him. Her eyes were glassy, but there was something else there too: gratitude. "Thank you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Most people just see my title." Jake nodded. "Everyone's just a person at the end of the day." She smiled at that, then disappeared inside. Jake went home to his small apartment, kissed Lily on the forehead while she slept, and forgot about the night. To him, it was just another ride. The next morning, his phone buzzed with an unfamiliar notification. It was an email request from Cross Tech Solutions. His stomach tightened. Had he done something wrong? The message asked him to come to the company headquarters that afternoon. Jake almost didn't go. He imagined losing his contract, imagined bills piling up. But he had no choice. When he arrived, the building was buzzing with activity. Assistants hurried past, security badges beeped, and glass offices gleamed. He was escorted to the top floor. Evelyn Cross stood by the window when he entered. Sharp suit, hair perfectly styled. She looked like the woman from the magazines again. For a moment, Jake wondered if the night before had even happened. She turned and looked at him, really looked at him. "Mr. Turner," she said, "thank you for coming." He nodded, unsure what to say. "I want to apologize," she continued, "for my behavior last night." Jake shook his head. "You didn't do anything wrong." She smiled sadly. "I did. But that's not why I called you here." She gestured for him to sit. Then she took a deep breath. "This morning," she said, "I woke up on my kitchen floor. I don't remember how I got there. What I do remember is that no one in my life would have helped me the way you did last night. Not my colleagues, not my board, not my so-called friends." Jake listened quietly. "I built my entire life around success," Evelyn said, "at the cost of everything else. I don't have family. I don't have anyone who checks if I got home safe, and last night a stranger treated me with more humanity than anyone has in years." Her voice cracked. "I asked you here because I needed to say thank you, but also because I did something last night that scared me." She looked him straight in the eyes. "I drove myself to that gala drunk. I could have killed someone." Jake felt his chest tighten. "I realize," she continued, "that if I keep going like this, power won't save me, money won't save me." There was a long silence. Then Evelyn surprised him again. "I had your file pulled," she said gently. "You're a single father. You drive nights to support your daughter. You've never missed a payment on anything, and you still chose kindness." Jake shifted uncomfortably. "I just did what felt right. That," she said, "is exactly why I want to help." She offered him a position, not as a driver, but as a logistics coordinator at Cross Tech. A stable salary, health benefits, flexible hours, enough to be home for Lily every evening. Jake thought it was a joke. "It's not charity," Evelyn said, reading his face. "It's respect." Tears filled his eyes. No one had spoken to him like that in years. He accepted. Over the next months, Jake's life changed in ways he never imagined. Lily no longer fell asleep waiting for him to come home. They ate dinner together. Weekends were filled with parks instead of overtime shifts. But something else changed too. Evelyn changed. She started leaving the office earlier. She joined a support group. She stopped drinking. Sometimes she'd stop by Jake's desk just to ask how Lily was doing one afternoon. Jake saw her sitting alone in the cafeteria. He hesitated, then joined her. "Can I ask you something?" he said. She nodded. "Why me?" he asked. "You could have thanked me and moved on." Evelyn smiled softly. "Because kindness without expectation is rare, and when you find it, it reminds you of who you could be." Years later, Jake would tell Lily this story when she felt small or invisible. He'd tell her that kindness doesn't always change the world, but it always changes someone. And sometimes that someone is you. In the end, it wasn't the CEO's confession that shocked Jake the most. It was the realization that his simplest act, driving someone home safely, had created a ripple neither of them expected. So if you ever wonder whether kindness still matters in a world that feels rushed and cold, remember this: one good choice, made quietly, can rewrite a life. And maybe, just maybe, it can rewrite yours too.